let's take a look at the build real quick. So, I made a hunter, um, as I probably stated in the previous video, but just in case I didn't, I made one. Um, we are running Yeehaw Hunter, as what I have come to understand it named. So I'm running obviously a last word, auto, firing auto does more precision damage than aiming, so just don't aim. It's so fun. I'm running this. I got this on my Titan initially. It's not a god roll, but it fills a hole in my artifact perks where I can deal with overloads with the jolting feedback aspect of it. So that's been great so far. I think it's a good roll. I don't think it's the best roll. And then I run this. I found this I think yesterday on the hunter, and it's again, I don't think it's the absolute best. It's got to be close from what I understand. I think there's one thing that could have been different that would have made it like absurd. But um, I run a sword. It's nice. I don't. I also run the overloads for this as well. I just don't use it as much as other than for movement because I just don't. I'm generally just jumping between these two sidearms. Um, the reason I'm doing that is specifically for last word hand cannon is for Lucky Pants because it gives it like an absurd amount of damage. That this scales, this gets scaled off precision hits, and it adds very quickly, um, and it's just great. Maybe this gets swapped out for like a submersion during like specific, because I have one that has auto loading holster and chill clip. So maybe I swap that out during like actual boss fights or whatever, if I'm allowed to. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm generally focused on a weapons build here. There's some stuff that I could swap out for others. Um, I got weapons to 136. I have the gear to put it up to like 192, but um, I read that um, on your mark gives you 50 weapon stat, right? So I'm like, oh well, if at 10 stacks, which generally like it's not, aiming for precision shots anyway, so like just you're gonna have it, and your dodge like adds a stack or can maintain it. Um, so I got to 136 with this setup in favor of trying to get some other stat spreads around because like getting this to 192 is great, but having like near 100 grenade and melee also helped. The grenade being able to heal me, and then I found out, at least from what I've read, that gunpowder gamble, which is like the fun part of the build for me, one of the other fun parts, scales off your grenade stat. So naturally, I'm going to want set 102 because gunpowder gamble is like kind of fills where we struggle, which is AOE, which is fine. Like it's not an end all be all answer to it, but it's fun. You shoot it, blows up, it's exciting. I have a fun clip at the beginning of the salt mines where it was like in the middle of like 7 or so enemies, and I only had like one angle on it that I shot the bullet through between all of them, hit none of them, and hit the bomb. It was really cool. I'm sure I'll put that up there if you haven't already seen it. And then melee stat the for throwing the knives. Here's the fragments I'm running. Um, some of this is left over from I have a stasis yeehaw setup as well. Um, everything's relatively the same except that one focuses more on having to put more into weapon. So like I wouldn't be using kinetic weapon surge. I'd probably be running another one of these because apparently weapon spawns give you like 20. So if that is the case, I haven't mathed it or anything. I wish that while it was active you could look at your stats and it could show you. That would be really cool, but it doesn't. So um, I don't know. That'd probably be something worth adding. Anyway, so that puts me to 156, and on your mark puts me to 206. I don't know if it actually scales past 200. No idea. But that's our weapon skill. And then the reason why I have melee and grenade stat is because on the stasis build, having slightly more um, melee stat lets you. I think it sets back the cooldown of the shuriken that you can throw, which also just plays into like this feedback loop of shooting slowed targets, does more damage, fun stuff. Anyway, so that's kind of the build. Just a lot of focus on weapons. Some stuff like I could have, like I've already said it, but I could have a lot more to weapons. But I'm purposely spreading out stats as best I can. Um, And right now I have Last Discipline and Bushido two-piece. I would ideally want the Smoke two-piece. I feel like that two-piece is just too good. The reason I wanted to try Last Discipline um, is because of the reload speed, um, which is just like for this. Plus, I usually run. I think I run Kinetic Reloader somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not running it anymore. I was trying Kinetic Reloader out because I generally will empty the clip, get up to 8 stacks of illegally modified holster, and then it's like, okay, super slow reload animation, or I can marksman dodge and reload it, which is faster, right? And then I'm like, all right, well, in the case that that doesn't work or that doesn't happen or it's on cooldown, it's like I still want to be able to reload to get at least like 2 or 3 more shots in, and it's been it's been pretty solid for the most part. I picked up a malfeasance. Um, that was a pain in the. You know what? I'm not even gonna say it. It was a pain, absolute pain to deal with to get all that, and then only to find out like, and then it is good. There's no, I do not deny it's good. The fun factor here though, is it's way better. Anyway, I'll probably have to chop this up a little bit because I do tend to ramble. But this is like kind of what I've been up to. Kind of put, oh, sorry, artifact mods. I went with what made sense as I read it. I don't, um, I don't have the best build probably by any means. But when I run Solar Yeehaw, I generally run something like this. Um, maybe having, uh, what is this? Oh, I got an upgrade. Maybe a slightly different heavy. Um, Possibly this too. I've thought about like something that has like a grenade launcher that has auto loading that's solar and has incandescent. Like those three things, if there's such a thing, let me know. I would like something that I could throw out and swap back to the sidearm to encourage that swapping around loop. Same with a heavy. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm running right now. Yeah, so thanks for watching. All right, what's up, team? Free of thought here. A lot has happened. Been working, been busy around the holiday. As you can see, I'm not playing my Titan. I have a reason for that. Uh, in the background, I'll probably just have some gameplay footage of me running through the salt mines for the event. So uh, there's actually a clip that I'm kind of proud of coming up here. With this specific build, I'm running Gunpowder Gamble, and I've been working on like, I don't say working on, but I've been hoping for like the perfect shot, right? Where there's like tons of enemies near you, and like you throw the gunpowder gamble, right? And it happened in this video, and not only did it happen, it was so clean. Like it was so. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, I'll get back on script here. I've started writing out what I want to say. That way, I don't maybe ramble as much because I know that that can be frustrating for some people to deal with. Uh, so, so first thing, I'm crazy. I'm not like most people, in the sense that, oh, I mean, maybe I'm not. Who knows? I guess we'll find out in the comments, right? But the reason that I'm on Hunter right now, is because Titan mains don't hate me for this. This video won't get any traction. Bungie isn't looking in this dark corner of space. Titans feel too good, right? I know it sounds stupid. And like I will, redact my slanderous ways, if that, needs to happen. But Titans, they kind of feel too good right now. I'm being honest with you guys. I came across this Stasis Titan build, that like does quite literally just melees, makes ice, breaks ice, make ice, break ice, right? That's fine. Um, my problem with it is it isn't, and it's, I still am not doing the most challenging content. I only have 165 hours into this game over the course of 3 weeks. Maybe that's a lot for the time considering, I don't know. But I've done up to Grandmaster content on the Titan, and it I have never experienced. So I guess let me back up a second here. I There are like a couple of different gameplay loops to Destiny. Like there is certain aspects of the game that you have to be proficient at, and it's not just one. You can't just be like, I'm really good at this thing. I think Destiny as a whole does a really good job of encouraging being, uh, I don't know, multifaceted is probably the word. I'm not 100%. But basically, you know, while you can be really good at, you know, your weapons play is good, or like your PvP mechanics are good. You also kind of have to be pretty solid at PvE because there's a lot of good PvE role weapons that you're going to want for whatever activities you're doing. Same thing for PvP. There's some weapons in PvP that are exceptional in PvE that you have to like be you have to do somewhat okay. I mean, I suck at PvP, let me tell you. But you have to be somewhat like knowledgeable at the very least to give your team a chance to win. Oh God, I can't believe I just did that. Anyway, sorry, I'm commentating as I'm reading through my script. So anyway, I played a couple of different builds of this Stasis Titan. There's one that was using the gauntlets that turn your would-be barricade into like this AOE, and it does a couple of other things that just make Stasis Titan with those gauntlets really good. I tried Maven's build she made about a month ago today, I think, talking about Severance Disclosure with Stasis Titan, which I personally favor that one more just because it did more damage. And I favor that one more because, I mean, obviously because it did more damage, but because Stasis Titan is so safe. It is absurd to me, like how safe and comfortable that build is. And what I mean by that is, I have never to this point played a build or a class that was using guns as optional, right? I've never like, this is a looter shooter, right? And while I understand that, obviously that's kind of an exaggerated way to say it. I was sick. Um, the with Stasis Titan, it quite literally feels like weapons are optional. Just make more ice cubes and break them, right? So, and it's the reason I'm even bringing all this up is because like it's just so safe. Like you throw your melee, you break your infinite ice cubes. All of your ice cubes give you frost if you play the build like relatively correctly. I say that like relatively, but like you play it well, you'll be rewarded with good progression of your character. Stasis crystals give you frost armor, heal you, among a couple of other things. They attract to you on top of that, um, with again the right aspects or whatever, or fragments, whatever, one of the two. Anyway, so it creates this gameplay loop that is just it's so good. And me being the psychopath that I am, I don't want a free ride, right? And Titans, not saying that your build isn't good. Not saying that your class. From what I understand, I've read some like forums, some Reddit posts. God forbid, I don't really go on Reddit often, but I, found myself there. Titans, from what I understand, have not been the top damage dealers for a long time, and this is probably the first time that Hunter has been not better than Titans at damage, right? So it's kind of flips there. So Titans, lap it up, live your best life. I'm excited for you. And I'm not saying I won't play my Titan because I will, but um, I generally am seeking, you know, being the crazy person that I am. I'm generally seeking a challenge, and it feels so far with the content that I've done. I can't do ultimate yet. I'm not cool enough. I need to get higher light level. I haven't done raids. I tried a raid. I meant to do Nightmare of Galron, or however you say it, and I signed up for a raid that had Crota, I think, in it. It was like super dark with these like swinging anvils that kill you. And I apologized to them. I'm like, I think I signed up for the wrong thing, and no one really said anything. And then I guess we got to Crota, I think, and I pretty much wiped the team because I was unworthy or something. I apologized for it, and then I didn't know how to leave, so it was really awkward. And I asked how I'm supposed to leave. Um, and the guy said like this and booted me. I was like, wow, that must be that toxic community people are talking about. Anyway, so yeah, like it's been that was a completely random rant that just threw me off track. But it's been a good time on Titan. I'm looking for a challenge and to challenge myself. And I feel like by playing Stasis Titan, and I'm sure there's other builds that I could play, but as it stands with like Stasis Titan, it it's taking out for me a core concept of what I think this game is supposed to be, which is like weapons and gunplay, right? How weapons feel. Like weapons aren't for Stasis Titan, it feels like weapons serve the purpose of breaking a barrier champion or having something for unstoppable or having something for overloads. That's the only purpose your weapons serve. Just hit your melee button, break your crystals. I shoot my crystals more than I shoot the, whatever I'm fighting. So anyway, all that out the way, moving into what I what happened and like what started for me, to kind of look at other classes. Still probably not going to be playing Warlock. Anyway, so I think I was in the tower, and I randomly came across this hunter, and he had him a cowboy hat on, and I was like, this, and like his whole outfit. I wish I got footage of it. His whole like get up, like just drip level was insane. So I inspected him like, how could I not? Like, this guy looks amazing. He probably has the best skin in the game, right? Like, just naturally. I don't know what his light level was. Don't remember. But he was wearing lucky pants, and I was like, those look like cowboy pants. And then he was holding a last word, and so I was like, you by looks alone, I'm interested. And then I started talking to him. I figured out you can whisper people, or I think that's what it's called in this game. I'm not 100%. But I type slash whisper and it works, so probably correct in that front. Um, so I whispered him, and then we like started talking or whatever. Super super nice guy. He specifically pointed out that he doesn't really do the meta. He usually looks for things that are fun over things that are the best. And I asked him about the build and like what's the point of it, and he had me read last word, and he's like, hey, yeah, like you hip fire precision shots, get a increased damage bonus. And I was like, I understood, but I didn't understand it until I actually got to see how you hold the revolver and flick the hammer. Like that's just so good. Smiles per gallon on this build is very high. Anyway, so he suggested a few websites for me that I was pretty much aware of at this point. Light.gg being one of them, and Destiny Item Manager. Um, so for me, I hate to keep bringing up WoW, but it kind of paints a perspective as to why I do some of the things I do. In WoW, playing outside of the meta is often, at least at the level I was playing at, is often discouraged because you kind of, become a detriment to whatever team you're in because there's a capable amount of damage that you can do with said build, and then there is that capability goes down the more off meta you go, right? To the point where like, you could kind of just borderline be useless, be the carry. And like one thing that I've found to be the absolute most rude thing you could be is a carry. Be the guy that gets carried. That's just like, that is illegal in this community, in most communities, to be fair, not just this one. Is like, just don't do it. Um, so I am trying to break out of that shell, right? And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna try this. So I looked up, on Light GG. No one really tends to try to run this kind of a thing. And then suddenly, I don't know what happened, but YouTube, I heard me say "Yeehaw Titan" or "Yeehaw Hunter," and all of a sudden, I get all these builds from other players who some of them don't even play this game anymore, that are like, this plus this equals big yeehaw damage. I forget the content creator. I don't even think he plays this game anymore. I think he plays Destiny Rising now. Um, but yeah, like, so I immediately just like hooked. So yeah, the smiles per gallon on this is insanely high. I don't use this ultimate. Like, I used it once this entire run. I should probably use it more or switch to a different one. This one, I just don't use it enough. I should be better about it. But yeah, It's been so fun. I've been kicked from so many groups. They either look at my newness or they look at the build and they're like, "Yeah, no, we don't want you here." And then the one, but I do get compliments. The ones that I do play in, when they either accept that I'm just playing off meta, or or they aren't looking. I don't know. I get compliments like, "Hey, you did pretty good." So it's a give and take kind of thing. I do have one gripe with it though, because like a lot of people are using the new new armor, new guns, new equipment only thing. I think it's called Avant Garde or however you say it. Anyway, Lucky Pants is in there. It's considered a new item. However, all of the hand cannons that you would want to use are not there. You can quite literally use the shotgun hand cannon, the Warden's Law, and then a hand cannon called Agape from the new expansion that I don't have. Of those three, there might be another one. I don't know. I've looked it up. Was not lucky finding it. Um, lucky pants. Uh, did not find it. Of those, the only one that I really have access to is the shotgun hand cannon, which I just don't really enjoy the playstyle of. Like it just, I don't know, something about it, not for me. Um, but yeah, so it's been like, it's kind of frustrating. Like, so you make Lucky Pants new, and a lot of the community, I guess, from when I've tried to do Pinnacle operation stuff, a lot of the community is using, only new weapons. A lot of this call to arms stuff requires you to only use new weapons. I can't compete or complete the Grandmaster seasonal hub stuff because I'm using hand cannons that are old, and I have to try to like come up with a build that doesn't use that. And that's the only thing I know about Hunter so far is like how to play with Lucky Vance. Um, so like part of me is like, do I cave and play like buy Edge of Fate specifically and only to get opportunities at Agape? That's I don't know, man. That's rough. It feels like they're like, hey, you can play with Lucky Pants if you want to. However, you're gonna play it through what we find as an acceptable lens, which is you can play with Warden's Law, which you can't get, by the way. It has to be on the Nightfall rotation. Unless there's some other way to get it, please let me know in the comments. I'm reading these, and I appreciate all you that comment, and give me tips and stuff. I'm still learning, obviously. Or you can have this hand cannon shotgun that shoots slow, reloads slow. I'm sure it gets up to on your mark stacks or illegally modded holster stacks very fast. I think if you hit with probably everything, it probably cranks. Um, or the other hand cannon that you can't get unless you buy the expansion. Um, so it's kind of stupid to me. Like, make this considered new and playable in the new content, but none of the hand cannons that you would want to use in the new content. So I don't know. That's just seems dumb. Like I spent a long time on grinding out Malfeasance, and I think Malfeasance is very good. Um, I if I'm in situations where I need ad clear versus boss damage, I'll swap out Last Word for Malfeasance, and the ad clear on that thing is absurd. And it has enough rounds where I can pretty much just shoot through the whole thing, get the entire benefit from the illegally modded holster, and have no issues. Um, so that's been fun. Ace of Spades, definitely more for PvP, I think, and Thorn more the same. And I have catalysts for all three now. I wish Last Word had a catalyst. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know what you would do. Something with range, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, that kind of does it for the video. I kind of went over time here, and I apologize for that. Hopefully, it's not too long. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Helps with the algorithm. I will try to upload a little more often. It's just been tough during holidays. I work at a parcel type service, so I'm doing a lot of deliveries, a lot of running, and as we get closer to the holidays, I'm working overtime. Thanks again. Bye.